Hello, PHP folks. Chapter 3 and 4, starting MySQL. And chapter 4, we have talked about this one, list of products PHP. And now this one is going to talk about exercise 4.1, which is worth 2 points. At the bottom here, exercise 4.1 is offering different directions from the book. As you read this, I recommend that you start with number 8. And looking at the book for number 8, well, first of all, what your job will be is to add a category. So you'll have to put in a name here, put an input text box, and provide an add submit button. And this way we'll add a category to the database. And the second part of it is to make a list of the categories, grabbing the categories from the database and displaying them in this column. And in column number 2, offer a delete button. And when you press either one of these buttons, you'll go to its own small script, which one will add the category to the database, and this one will delete the categories from the database. Number 8 says, in the category list.php file, write the code that lets the user add a category to the database, which is just this part. This is the first part that we're doing, which I believe this video will only have time to cover this. This code should consist of a form that accepts the name for a new category. This actually isn't a form, of course, because we have a submit button. Followed by a submit button that displays add. So this is a direction you're given. Now there's a lot to do in here just for these few words. So what is proposed here is to break down that number 8 into 4 points. So this is what we're going to do. First, we're going to create the form code, and you open and close it, and you're going to sandwich the label name. So let's take a look here at the code that you have already. So you start with this, and when you press on list categories, this is the program category list.php. So this is what they give you. There is a beginning of a table here, and they have provided the add category, and now this is where we're going to put the name, an input text box, and the submit button for adding. So this is where we start. Let's look at the code. This is the code category list.php that is given to us. Note that they've already required once the database.php, so that's here already. The select everything from categories, order by categories, is already here in queries, and it's been executed to fetch that data. And we do have the data in hand in categories, so we don't have to worry about that. Now the HTML is set up. The body product manager in ex1 is there, and yeah, product manager in big letters. Category list is another ex1, and that is here. And category list. Oh, there we go. Sorry, category list. And then they have the name. They open a table, right, and create a new row, and the header is name, and the second column is blank. We don't need anything in that one right here. As you can see, in the final column we don't need anything in this second column here. So this is the header row there. And so add code for the rest of that table. That's what we'll do next. Not in this video, but in the next. That's the end of that table. And then add a category is a highlight 2. And that one is right here. Add category. And so, oh, well, actually this is the code that I've been working in, and this is not the original code. The original code is this one. Sorry about that. It's a little, there's not quite as much in here. Add category, and then all you've got left here is add code for the form here, add code for the rest of the table there, and that's it. Now, I've prepared another file here with all that's already done, and we're going to work from that. I put some comments here that will just move around to include the new things we're supposed to do. So again, what are we doing? We create the form code, open and close, sandwich the label name within save it and run, which is the way we should do. Just make a small part, small improvement in the program, save it and run. So let's pretend that we're going to type, first of all, form, action, and as I said, we'll have to go to a small script just to add the category that we're going to provide by clicking on add. Okay, we're going to come up with a name, we're going to click add, and it's going to have to go to the database. And that's going to take a small piece of code right here, add category.php, and we're going to use the method post, and that's it. So if you open a form, then you should also close the form. So let's move this end comment up above it so it's included. And we can do one more thing just so we have something to look at when you run, is that you should include the label as well. So we'll just put on the screen name, colon, and that at least we'll have something running. So let's move this down one, and we're going to save it, and we're going to refresh, and here it is, name. So that part is working so far. Step number 2. Next, code the input text box, and don't forget to name it. It's very important. Again, save it and run. So that's easy to do. Input, type text, right? We give it a name, and this is anything we want to call it. Name, category name. And usually we put some quotes in here. Let me go ahead and add those. And so that's the name, and that should do it. That should show up as a text box for a one-liner. So we'll move the comment down here. So we are doing the form, the label, the input, and closing the form. Save that and run or refresh. Okay, so here's the text box ready to go, and what we could do here at this point is make sure that it's named correctly. And what is a good thing to do is just to select what you want, control or right click on it. It's particularly if you're in Firefox, view selection source, you see, and we want to see the result and the label very well. Input name, category name, type text. So everything's hunky-dory so far. Wait a minute, you didn't see any of that. Sorry. Input, name, category, name, type text. So that's the source so far. Next, number 3. Finally, code the submit button, and then that part will be done. Okay. That code is right here. Notice there's a label before it, but we just have a blank in there. We don't need a label in front of that. and input, type, submit, and the value is just going to say add, and we're done with that. So we're ready to lower the comment right there, save, and run. So watch out for the add button here. Ready, go, refresh. Okay, so that's it. Now when we push add, it's going to go where the action says to go, which is add category. So now we have to talk about that part. Number 4. Now we work on the add category PHP module, and I'm proposing that we start with the add product PHP, which was pretty well explained in the book, and we can modify that to receive the category name, and that's all we need, right? That's all we are sending is the category name. Category name, that's the only thing we're sending, which is different from this one, the add product, which actually creates one of these select menu box and has 3 input boxes. So we don't have that much work to do here, just one. So insert into the categories table, right? The category name, that's our job. We don't need a category ID when you add this because it's auto-incremented. The database takes care of that automatically. And one more note: when running the code, check the database. Of course, yes, with PHP My Admin, that the category has been added because we don't have a ways right now to check the categories on our browser. Okay, so let's take a look at the original add product. The original, the one that adds the product, has to receive 4 fields, and the only one we'll need is category name, correct? So that will be easy. We'll just take one of those and replace one of these and throw the rest out. If empty code or empty name or empty price, all those, we only have one to check, right? We'll just have the category name to check, so that will be, so you just have to delete all that and you're set with that. The error can stay the same, and the include is going to stay the same. You still need the error PHP. The else stays there. Require once database PHP. Yes, you're ready to access the database, so we have to open it. And we have an insert command here, which goes into products, but we'll just have to modify that to go into categories. And putting values is going to be more simple since we only have 1 and they have 4 over here. But it's basically the same command, right? You got the insert into, and you got the values, and then you got the execute statement, and the bottom is include PHP. So if you just work on that, save it, call it add category instead, and now I'm going to click on the final product, and indeed we just have now one variable here, post category name, and this should of course match exactly what we have here. Let's do view source here just to refresh our memory, and where is our, wait a minute, something's wrong here. Okay, yes, add category.php, and we are passing category name underscore name. Okie doke. So that's what we're trying to retrieve, category name, and we're going to put that in name. If empty name, so we only have one check here, and the error is simply empty category field. Try again. Include, same thing, no problem there. Database PHP. And we insert into categories only category name. Now we have to use the right spelling for the database. Remember, is category capital N name. And values is simply name, which is the data that we got right there. And we execute the query and it should be done. So let's try it. We just type in a name here. Let's say keyboards, add. Okay, and of course that's all that's happening right now. But what you have to do is check the database at this point. Go to categories. Let's refresh this. And I have to reload. Okay, so refresh. And it's not there. Something happened. Oh, keyboards. Yes, keyboards. It must be giving us these field names alphabetically. Good, so it's working. Thank you very much. We're going to quit right here for now. And the video is probably long enough for this. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.